Hello, good morning. How are you, students? I'm back to see you again online. So glad to be here. Okay. Hi again. I'm teacher Shameela from SMK Gurun. And today we'll be looking at Unit 11, Lessons to Learn, on the topic of writing. So for that, you need to refer to the pages in your textbook, close up, pages 144 and 145. I really hope you are ready and you are always safe. Right? Good to see you again. Let's move on. Okay, before we start, as usual, we'll be looking at the content standards and learning standards. Okay, so for today's lesson, content standards are under the main skill. We have communicate with appropriate language, form, and style. Okay, so you're going to be looking at the writing skill and what you need to do for a certain format and style of writing. Okay, so I'm going to learning standards. Here, I'm looking at writing 4.1.5, okay, where you need to organize, sequence, and develop ideas within short text on familiar topics. You see, it's going to be on familiar topics. So you will be having some ideas or points for you to elaborate. Okay, so let's find out. And we are going to be talking about writing. Okay? Yes. As I mentioned, style, format. So for today, we're looking at report. How to write a report. Okay? So reports, they have their own functions, and we'll be looking at types of reports, how to write a report, and what we need to put in a report. Okay, because they have certain aspects that you need to fulfill, so that you can also fulfill the questions requirements. Okay, don't worry if you have not written a report before. I really hope if you follow this lesson today, we'll be sharing some tips and strategies. So report, let's write one. First question, okay, the first thing we need to do, it's always to ask why. Okay, why we write reports? There must be some functions, isn't it? Okay, you can share your ideas or your answers. What do you think why we need to write a report? Okay, so I'll be sharing three main points. Okay, first, because it analyzes an issue or problem. You see, when you report, you gather all the relevant details by analyzing. You look at that, okay, this is happening, what is going to happen next, or what do you see from the picture, okay? It can be any issues or problem. Okay, for that, when you have that situation, once you analyze, you will have details, as I said, yeah? When you have details, information, you have to convey and share the information because you will have an audience, readers who will read your report. So you must think always, what are you writing is going to be read and what is needed by the readers. Okay? So first you analyze, once you get the details, you convey and you share the information. Yeah? Why? Because we can recommend suitable or necessary actions. You see, when I talked about analyzing issues or problems, definitely you would like to suggest some actions to be taken to solve the problem, to rectify the problem. Okay, so you analyze, share, and finally you recommend some actions, okay, to take care of the problem. Okay, so 3 points here, yeah? since we talked about analyzing, I'm going to be giving you some pictures rather than words, yeah? For me, I like looking at pictures. I love analyzing pictures because sometimes you can get ideas beyond the pictures. You must train yourself to look at the minor details and gather the information. Okay? So I'm sharing you the first picture. Look at this. Okay, this is a classroom. I hope it's not your classroom. Okay. So at the first glance, what do you think? What do you see? Do you like it? Or do you think things need to be done? So when you look at it, you feel you need to report. Okay, when you report, you take all the necessary information. Okay, so whatever you report on, it must be based on the issue. Okay, so usually when this kind of picture or situation, usually when you are writing, you have questions. Yeah, I'm just using pictures to make things a little bit easier. Okay, so you will say that this class is not keeping their class clean, it's not organized, all the issues. Okay, so you are analyzing first view. Yeah. Next picture. Look at this. Okay, you're still analyzing, but this is in graphic form. It's a pie chart, one of my favorite ways to share information because it's interesting, easy to digest. Yeah. So here, the moment you saw this pie chart, yeah, what do you know about the information? Where do you think you have to refer to get what is presented? Definitely the title. You see? So you see numbers. Okay, you see some cake-like pieces. But what are they telling you? Teen Social Networking Stats. Stats stands for statistics. Okay, so details. Maybe they have done a survey to gather all this information and share to you in a pie chart form. So you see when you gather information, the way of sharing. Okay, so this is pie chart. Not everybody can just simply digest this information, right? So you are to write a report based on your findings. That's why we have survey and reports best friends. Yeah, they are connected. So once you do a survey, you get all this information and you organize them into graphic first and you present them in a written form called report. Okay, so I just want to look at one or 2 points here. The biggest piece, 73%. What are they saying? They say 73% of teens are on social networks. Come on, which teenager is not on social network? Unless you are the balance. Okay, balance 27%. Okay, so it's more than 50%, more than half the population of teenagers. Okay, so I think we know this, yeah? And let's look at the smallest piece, the least piece, yeah? So what is it telling us? It's trying to say 8% of American teens use Twitter. It's a small number. I can guess you are more to Facebook and Instagram, right? So that's why they have a small percentage. You see, when I talk about the details given, I also tend to give some reasons to support. That's what you need to do when you when you write a report. Details. At first glance, you have all the graphic details and you must support it with your own reasons, your opinions, your ideas. Right? Okay, let's look at last picture. Look at this. There are 2 questions, yeah? English or Korean? See, usually, I'm slowly coming down to a smaller scope here. Usually, you are given 2 topics, 2 issues, 2 problems maybe. and you are asked to do a survey. Okay, survey. This could be, if you look at this picture and the questions, the immediate survey would be relatable if I say you carry out a survey among teenagers to find out if they prefer English songs or Korean pop songs. Okay, so I definitely can see the pie chart. I'm imagining the pie chart, maybe more on the Korean side. You guys, you have massive adoration for these K-pop stars, yeah? So you can see the survey, what happens, yeah? So you see, you analyze, you convey information, and finally you write a report. You say, okay, most teenagers like Korean pop songs. Why? Because this and that. So that's what we need to write a good report. Okay, but students, I'm just trying to put pictures here for your easy understanding. You'll be getting questions, written questions. Yeah, same. Just what I divert or you translate whatever knowledge you have into the written questions. Okay, done analyzing. Let's go. Once you know you have to write a report, you must also know that we have different types of reports. Okay? There's always different types because they serve different purposes, different objectives. Okay? So I've shared, there are a lot more on business reports as well, which I don't think we'll be using that in school context. Yeah. So I'm looking at basic few reports here. Society school report, you'll be very familiar. Report to the principal or teacher advisors. Okay. So these people, they're in school, so you report things related. Especially if you are writing a report to a principal, you'll be talking about issues in school. You did a survey, you carried out students who need help, okay, financial help with their families. Report. Okay, you do a survey. Okay, next, the three reports we have: police report, news report, book report. Okay, news report is what you get from journalists, news reporters. Yeah, they report things based on happenings which are carried out anywhere. Okay, so they gather the information, they share. And I really kind of like book report. Okay, so you read and you write a report based on what are the things you have found out about reading the book. Okay. If you have watched the previous session, I've shared about Harry Potter. It will be lovely if we can have a book report on Harry Potter books. Yeah. So just trying to get you to read some books there. Right. So what we'll be looking at? We'll be looking at society, school report, okay, and report to the principal, as these two are more relatable in school context. Okay, right, let's move on. Yeah, we have seen what to do, we have seen why we write, we have seen what types. Before writing, now we are moving to the mode of writing, yeah? Before writing, there are some questions you need to ask yourself, okay? First, who are the readers? Okay, so all these, you are looking at your question and you are analyzing your question first, okay? So you find out what you need to do from your questions. Very important to read the questions carefully. Triple or double, make sure you read them carefully, okay? So who are the readers? Who are you writing to? First question. Next, what is the purpose of the report? Why are you writing it? What do you want to present in your report? And finally, what information should be included in the report? All these, again, I'm stressing that you have to read your questions, okay? The questions are there to help you actually analyze the questions before you start writing. It will be really, really helpful, okay? So readers can be your team members, schoolmates, your class, your teachers, So it depends. All this comes from your questions, yeah? Okay. I'm just highlighting. You see, when you read, it's very important if you can learn how to highlight. Okay, highlight the keywords. We'll be looking at this later, yeah? So it makes your scope to be more focused. So readers, purpose, information. Let's say if I want you to write about the Korean and English songs, who likes what. So the readers will be your classmates, your friends, all the kids in your school. And the purpose? To find out which one is the best, which one is more loved. Okay? And information, you'll be looking at percentages. About 20 students said this, about 80 students said that, and why and the reasons. Okay? So this is how we're going to write our report. Okay? Stay tuned. There's something I need to remind you. You must always remember that you have to talk about the facts. You cannot be giving false information, yeah, because you're carrying out a survey, you see. So stick to the facts. Reports should be factual, okay, because they give information about a topic. So try to avoid giving personal opinions unless it is asked. Okay, you have to know you carry out a survey based on a real situation. Alright. So once you get all the points, then you have to present it. So what they mean by not giving personal opinions, I've given you some samples there. You see, dolphins can stay underwater for up to 15 minutes. Okay. You see, it's not based on any of your own thinking because dolphins are my favorite mammals. So the way you include the word my, we, our, then it becomes personal. So avoid using all these in your report writing. Okay? The other example is very clear. If you look at the wrong statement, I'm just looking at the wrong one. St. John's School is a brilliant place to learn. The children are kind and the teachers are funny. Okay, you see, this is what you reflect on your opinions, okay? You must avoid this all thoughts. Okay? So what you need to do, gather information and give supportive details. Right? That's one. Okay, we're moving on to today's lesson on pages 144 and 145. Okay, so again, it's going to be from your close-up textbook, and the skill today is writing a report. Dear students, I hope you are ready. So let's take a look. Yeah. Okay. Always, before we begin, we need to look at some, how would I say, some skills, some skills or some tips for you to make sure your report writing is smooth. Okay? It's not going to be a big hassle for you. Right, let's look at this. I'm looking at page 144 from the textbook. Okay. Before I start, I'm looking at these three words, both, neither, either. We'll be looking at how these are used and how you can use them to make your statements interesting. Okay, you look at this here. Both and either, they talk about two things and they have positive meaning. Okay, meaning both are included. Okay, so I give you some samples. The first one, I like both my teachers. That means teacher A, teacher B. You like them both. They're positive meaning for you. Okay? Don't get confused here. If you say, I don't like both my teachers, the positive here is meaning both of them are in the same category. You don't like them. Okay? It is not giving the negative meaning for the sentence. Okay? So you must get the points correctly. Yeah? If you are confused, let it be. But you always think what you need to decide to write. you like both teachers or you don't like both teachers. So you decide, you use the word correctly. Okay? Okay, next, let's look at example 4. We could have either Mrs. Brown or Mr. White today. Okay, that means this is either, yeah? You're going to have any one of them. So meaning you will have one. You will get someone, okay? Either, but it's you don't know. It's a choice. It can be Mrs. Brown, can be Mr. White. Okay, so you have to, if you're using both the teachers, you're making them. Okay, that's the difference, yeah? Look at the last example. This is where you need to be careful. Either of our teachers could come today. So what do you understand? Are they coming or not coming? Not coming. You see, could come. When you use either, and you are saying this statement, either of our teachers could come today. So both are not going to be coming. Alright? So this is where you need to apply what you need to share the information. Okay? Right. Both, either. Now we have neither. Neither means both again, but not involved, not going to be happening. Okay, see here. For example, neither Mrs. Brown nor Mr. White can teach today. Meaning both of them cannot teach. Okay, they are not going to teach you. Okay, okay. So this gives both of the involved people are not going to do it. So it is showing at your negative meaning. Okay, so the last tip here, it is already set, yeah? Don't worry about getting confused. Neither nor, either or. Yeah, repeat, yeah? Neither nor, meaning both are not going to be there. Either or, one will be happening. One of it, you have a choice of happening. So you compare two things. So when I say compare two things, immediately go back to your English Korean picture. Okay, so you are going to use this. Okay, neither songs, both songs, either. So you have to use these to share what information you think you share. Okay, so these are some tips for us to write in the report. Yeah, to use them. Okay, this is just to check how much we have comprehended. Let's look at the sentences, yeah? Number 1, we can spend the break either in the playground or in the common room. First of all, look for clues. The clue here is the word or. So your answer should be either. Either or. Because you have two choices, you can choose one. Next, number 2, the teachers were worried about the students' performance. What do you think? If you put neither, it doesn't completely come as an answer. So neither of the teachers were worried about the students' performance, meaning no teachers were worried. Okay? Because it's negative, yeah? Number 3, you can do both woodwork and design at our school. Because of the word and there, so both are included. Okay? It was suggested that either drama, clear clue, either goes with or, dance should be offered next term. So you are going to have either one, whether it's drama, dance. Okay? Here, have given a laptop. When you have both, it's definitely going to be more than one. Okay? So what do you think? Both students have been given a laptop. Okay? And finally, we haven't come across any examples starting with nor. So neither the principal nor the teachers feel action should be taken. So here, feel action should be taken. Okay? What do you think? Are they going to take the action or not taking the action? Refreshing you. Neither nor is negative. So no one here, not teachers, not the principal, will want to take the action. So you need to be carefully using these little phrases here. Okay? If you put it the wrong way, the information could be conveyed wrongly. Okay? So here I'm just sharing the answers what we have discussed. You can just tick. Okay? Right. This is task area. Okay, now we are looking at task B. On this slide, we are looking at keywords, a big help to focus. Okay, here why I put keywords, because keywords will be very helpful for you to highlight what you need to do. Okay, so remember, before we moved on here, I highlighted the words in the what you need to write for the report. So I can still remember the word readers, the word purpose, and the word information, because I highlighted, underline these words. Okay, it's up to you. You can highlight, you can circle, you can square it, star it. It's up to you. All right. Look at the question now. And what we need to do? Underline the keywords and phrases in the writing task below, and then answer the questions in your notebook. Okay, let's go. I really like highlighting, yeah? You recently carried out a student survey on facilities at your school as part of a social studies project. Survey, what you need to do as part of your school social studies project. Okay, so it's about facilities. Write a report summarizing opinions on two facilities mentioned in the survey and suggest how these facilities could be improved. And you can see the word limit is 100 to 120 words. Okay? First, students, no matter what writing question you have, your task starts from the word write. When you see the word write a report, write a letter, write a speech. So that's where your task, your format will be easy for your references. Yeah, so you control what you need to write when you read the word write here. Okay, so here you're going to be summarizing opinions. Okay, what about what? About two facilities. Okay, two facilities mentioned in the survey. And what are you going to do with that? Suggest how these facilities could be improved. You can see already, yeah, your task requirement, it's asking you to do this, to do that, and finally do that. Okay. So what will you write? As I said earlier, the word write will help you. So you are going to be writing a report. Okay. What are school facilities? School facilities, whatever you have in your school, okay, which are useful for you to use. You have your labs, you have your canteen, you have your library, okay, you have toilets, and all these things will make your school a better place. Okay, so facilities. How many facilities will we discuss? What do you think? It's given there two facilities. So you're going to be looking at two facilities and compare. Okay. And there's a instruction for you. What two things must your report include? What do you think? Write a report summarizing opinions mentioned and suggest how these facilities could be improved. The clue here is the word and. So both points need to be written for your report. You see that? The word and here. If it's given or, you can choose. Okay, you need to do both. Okay? Right? In case you have missed, it, student survey, school contacts, for your social studies project, write a report, opinions, suggest. Okay, we have discussed this. You are writing for readers. What do you need to put first to know, to make the readers know what are you writing about? Remember the pie chart? How do you know what are we talking about? Title. The title must be there. Okay, your title. Let's look at the next task, yeah? Yes, we have task C. Here it is not given a title here. That's why I mentioned earlier, yeah? So you imagine what title would be best for this report, yeah? So read the model report, sample, and complete it with both either or neither. Okay, so you are going to be using the 3 words we have discussed earlier. Okay, words and phrases, yeah? Okay, introduction. This report presents the findings of a survey on the facilities at Torrington High School. It also suggests some improvement to the facilities. Okay. They're just giving an intro what this report is going to be. Very important. Very simple, very direct, very formal. Okay? And you are supposed to talk about 2 facilities, remember? Okay. What are you talking here now? The library. Most students think the library is big enough nor well equipped. The word nor gives you the clue. So it could be only one answer there. Neither big enough nor well equipped. So it's small and no equipment. You see, you change the meaning that way, it will be easier for you to understand. Okay? So as a result, it is not as useful as it should be. A different location for the library could be the old science lab or the common room. Because of the word or. So they are giving a choice. The report is suggesting 2 choices. Science lab or common room. Yeah? As both of these are much bigger than the library. So they are giving solution. These are opinions. Okay? But you are doing it based on the fact. Yeah? You're not saying I like library so I want it to be there. I like the science lab, I want it to be there. No. Yeah, you have to know the differences, yeah? You cannot give personal opinions here. Okay? So students also suggested we have more computers put in so students can do research on the internet there. You see, these answers, they're taking it from the survey. So you have to remember, yeah? Anything you have to make sure it's factual. Okay? Next, classrooms. Library, classrooms. In general, most students believe that classrooms are good. Okay, they particularly like the interactive whiteboards as they make lessons more interesting. However, students complained about the temperature during winter. The students felt that the classroom should have central heating or air conditioning. The word or definitely it comes with either. So they are choosing, they are giving opinions to have central heating or aircon. Okay. Next, the conclusion, the last part. To sum up, the main recommendations are to move the library and to improve equipment in it, as well as to provide a better heating system. So they are not choosing anything here, which means both. Okay, so we have 2 facilities we talked. We have an introduction, we have conclusion. Survey done, information conveyed, and you are giving suggestions as well. So you see, these are the components for your report. Like components of nasi lemak. What do you have? The cucumber, the boiled egg, the gravy, yeah, the sambal, the anchovies, the rice, and you have a beautiful packet of nasi lemak. Same here, you have all the components to make a good report. Okay, moving on. Here's what. Now, based on the model report, now we are looking at some strategies. What we have done, what they have presented. Yeah, task D and E. Yeah. Okay. Read the model report again and take the things the writer has done. Okay. Do you agree with number one? Short explanation of the survey. Yes, in the beginning. Remember which school, what they're doing, and what survey is that. So, yes. Here's a tick there. Written about two facilities. Do you agree? Classroom, library. Right? Okay. Only included negative points? I don't think so. They shared some points to make suggestions easier, isn't it? Okay. So, no. Number 4, use the heading for each paragraph. Yes, that's why we were very clear about introduction, the facilities, and conclusion. So, yes, okay, they gave heading. Heading is this title, yeah? Forgotten to make suggestions. It was there clearly, yeah? So, number 6, used informal language. I do agree with this. You know why? Because report writing requires formal language. Okay, you write like you are serious, like the news in an article. Okay, you are not writing a letter or for a friend or such things. Yeah. Okay, so all these things we had there. Now, task E, you need to complete the plan for the model report with these sentences. Students, this is very easy. They're just asking you which paragraph, okay, talked about what. Paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4. For now, you should know, yeah, we have intro, library, classroom, and conclusion. Only 4 paragraphs. So you are only required to match the paragraphs, okay? So number 1 is there, actually. So A, discuss the first facility and make a suggestion for improvement. What was the first facility the model report talked? The library, remember? So you have matched paragraph 2 with A. Okay. Next we have B. Discuss the second facility and make a suggestion for improvement. Second facility, after library, you move to classroom. So that will be paragraph 3. So you have B matched to paragraph 3. Okay. Bring the report to an end by summing up the suggestions made. That really is the last paragraph, the conclusion. So that will be paragraph 4. So your C is matched with paragraph 4. And that leaves you for D. State the reason for writing the report. It's always the beginning of a report, yeah? That's nothing. You need to put some information why you're writing the report in the first place. Okay, so there you go. Take a few seconds, take your answers and check your answers, yeah? Okay. So before we move on, we have looked at what to do in a report, types of report, who are your readers, what you need to do before you start writing, yeah? And you must know you always start with the title. Okay? Why am I saying this? So 1, okay. I've had these questions, yeah. Teacher, I know, but I don't know how to start. Teacher, how to end the report? Remember, in the first reading lesson, I've discussed all these useful boxes, colorful boxes in your textbook, yeah. They have red boxes, orange boxes with lines, yeah. I'm mentioning the lines where you are given tips. So here, the same thing. You look at your page 145, you have useful expressions. We always give out these for your speaking and writing. Please take note, yeah? So, they have 2 aspects here, the same questions students always ask. introducing reports. How to start the engine to write a report. I understand. So keep it simple, yeah, students. You choose which one works best for you, which one you can remember easily. Okay? The aim purpose of this report is to this is a report on quite direct, yeah. This report will present the findings of very formal, very classy. It's up to you. If you think that you understand of using the introductions, go ahead. Yeah, explore. Yeah. And we're coming to the closing paragraphs. To sum up, we just had that. The main recommendations are these suggestions. You go back to your question later. Okay. What is asked, you just rewrite the same words or phrases. Okay? And in conclusion, one of the easiest way to conclude or summarize. Okay, so again, I'm stressing on these useful expressions here so that you are okay. You're not worried about starting the report. So you always think about all these 4 paragraphs for you to help to write a good report according to the questions given. Do not forget to analyze the questions first. Okay? Okay, before I go on here, dear students, I would like to remind you, this is just a sample question I created. Remember, we talked about giving factual points, but I just picked the same exam task on page 145 to just give a different view for you to. For me here, I'll be looking at how you write a report. Okay, the content I just tweaked it to something different so that at least you have different interesting points to write, and by writing the correct format. Okay, for your questions, for your PT3 Form 3 questions, you are always needed to start with the title. Okay, the model report just showed us how they have used the question to write a report. But you have to make sure you have a title, and usually you sign it off with the word reported by who. So I'm keeping it at the last part of the discussion today. You will see a statement or a sentence saying, who are you as a writer? It will say that you are the president, the secretary, or you are the treasurer, and so on. And what is your role in writing the report? You are writing the report for a school activity as a secretary. Clubs, yeah, you have club, English Language Society, Geography. So you write your annual report. See, you must analyze the question again. What are you as a writer? Who are you as a writer going to write about? Okay. So I've mentioned, remember, yeah, it's going to be factual actually. But here I'm just tweaking the question for because we are practicing on your strategies. Content, it changes according to your question state. Okay. So you recently carried out a student survey on the favorite animal hybrids among your schoolmates as part of a social studies project. So here, the phrase animal hybrids, yeah, it's like a combination of animal A, animal B, animal C, you mix. It's just scientific fun thing to imagine and do, yeah? Okay. Write a report summarizing opinions on the 2 hybrids mentioned in the survey and suggest how these animals should be taken care of. And the word limit given is 100 to 120 words. So all this. So I didn't highlight here. You are supposed to highlight the keywords to help you focus. Where is your writing task starting from? From the word write. Write a report. So you are writing a report. What are the 2 information you need to share? You need to summarize opinions on the 2 hybrids and suggest how these animals should be taken care of. It's the same question from your exam class. I just tweaked it with the information, yeah? And you carried out the survey. So you analyze, you convey, and you put the information. You want to take a look of the animals mentioned? Let's go. Yeah. Ta-da. What can you report? These are the two animals, hybrids, as I mentioned. So you're going to be looking at these animals are in your school. Okay, so they are new there. So you are asking your friends, your schoolmates, your classmates, opinions on how to take care of them and what do they think? Which one do they prefer? Okay, so maybe you can name animal A, you can name animal B, something relatable. It's up to you. Again, students, I would like to remind, this is just tweaking of the content to make things a bit interesting for writing report. Okay, but when you are going back to your report writing in school context, it's going to be really formal and you have to analyze your questions for your books. Okay, so here we're just having some little fun here, yeah? I like the idea of the mouse with the elephant, the biggest animal, and combined with the smallest animal. Okay, so, and here two-legged friend becomes four. So it is interesting to combine, just for fun. Yeah? Okay. Now, that's all for today, my dear students. So before you leave, please do not forget to fill in your feedback using the link given. It's given there, yeah? Please share your opinions. I would love to read and find out what do you think about the lesson, yeah? So we have arrived at the last slide. I really hope you find this session very helpful, okay? So again, I'm signing off, Teacher Shameela from SMK Gurun. Lots of love, stay safe, and be happy always. Thank you, bye-bye.